VOA News. 85 people were injured when an Aeromexico passenger plane crashed in the northern Mexican state of Durango Tuesday. There were no fatalities. That's the report from the state's governor on Twitter. Flight 2431 crashed just minutes after takeoff from Durango's Guadalupe Victoria International Airport. It was on its way to Mexico City. The pilot tried to abort the takeoff because of bad weather, but was unable to do so in time. Weather reports showed scattered storms in the area at the time of the accident. There were 97 passengers and 4 crew members on board the Embraer 190 plane. President Trump on Tuesday continued his attacks on the special investigator looking into links between his 2016 presidential campaign and Russia. Legal experts believe the investigator is looking into the many links between Trump campaign aides and Russian interests. A jury has been chosen in the case against former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Associated Press correspondent Warren Levinson reports.
A jury of 6 men and 6 women was seated to hear the tax evasion and bank fraud case against the former Trump campaign chairman. Manafort, whose bail was revoked and could spend the rest of his life in prison, appeared in court in a dark suit. He is accused of concealing from the IRS millions of dollars he was paid as a political consultant for Russian-backed interests in Ukraine. Though the case is separate from his work in the Trump campaign, it's the first trial to grow out of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of Russian influence on the election. Among the expected witnesses against Manafort, Rick Gates, a former Trump campaign aide and Manafort protege. I'm Warren Levinson.
A Turkish court has rejected an appeal for American clergyman Andrew Brunson to be released from house arrest while being tried on terrorism charges. The 50-year-old pastor denies the charges, faces up to 35 years in prison if he's convicted. This is VOA News. Hundreds of Iranians joined a street protest in the central city of Isfahan Tuesday, denouncing the government's handling of economic problems, including the record low value of Iran's currency. Since December, Iran has seen frequent public protests against local and national authorities and business owners accused of mismanagement, corruption, and suppressing freedoms. As the vote counting continues in Mali's presidential election, a third candidate has claimed enough votes to enter a runoff. Correspondent Bram Posthumus reports from Bamako.
Observers said voter turnout rates ranged from 20% in the northern city of Kidal to 44% in the Sikasso region in the southwest. Turnout was estimated at about 30% in the capital, which was not expected to vote for Keita. It will be up to Mali's Ministry of Territorial Administration and Decentralization to call the election. The Constitutional Court then validates the results. The court's decisions have been controversial in the past. Some observers say the court is too close to the president. Bram Posthumus for VOA News, Bamako.
Facebook says it has uncovered a sophisticated attempt to influence U.S. elections. It says it has shut down 32 Facebook and Instagram accounts because they were, quote, involved in coordinated, inauthentic behavior. The company said in a statement Tuesday that it does not know yet who is behind the pages, but it said it has found some connections between the accounts it removes and those connected to Russia's Internet Research Agency, which is believed to have posted propaganda that influenced the 2016 U.S. elections. Facebook said it was sharing what it knows because of a connection between what it called the bad actors behind the pages and some protests that are planned next week in Washington, D.C. 8 states and Washington, D.C. are suing the Trump administration for allowing a man from Texas to distribute instructions on how to make printable 3-dimensional guns. The downloadable plans were to be released late this week, but a judge has just issued an injunction against their release. The technology would let people manufacture weapons in their own homes. The U.S. State Department had ordered a militant Texas gun rights advocate to stop distributing the blueprints, arguing they violated U.S. export laws. The lawsuit by the states and the District of Columbia says allowing people to make their own plastic guns violates state controls over weapons. Top story of the hour, 85 people injured in an Aeromexico passenger plane crash. No fatalities. The plane lifted off from Durango's Guadalupe Victoria International Airport. You can find more on these and other stories at voanews.com. I'm Christopher Cruz. VOA News.